Dude, I'm sitting here kissing my teeth because this is going to be a transition, but also just be like, congratulations. Now you know how I feel because every single Birds fan I've talked to so far has expressed the same problems that they had about their teams that exactly what the Pittsburgh Steelers are in. We literally have and I'm like, welcome. I know exactly how you feel, bro. Play calling is absolutely atrocious right now on both sides, and our offenses are predictable as hell. Um, player being bought in or not. You have Jalen calling out that people aren't bought in. You have Minka in our locker room saying people aren't bought in, saying people think you're just going to come in and just do things and not earn it. So there's that. And I mean, quarterback play, I'd rather have Jalen than Kenny Pickett. But I mean, like, talk about, I mean, Kenny, though, they have like opposite issues. Like, Kenny doesn't turn the ball over, but he can't fucking score.
Yeah.
Where like Jalen can score, but he just turns the fucking ball over. Like, it's like the complete, like, whatever. But I feel this so much on your end.
Yeah.
And it sucks. Um, Now, like, fortunately, I mean, again, like Jalen Hurts way better. I don't have to worry about that. I mean, I had to watch Mitchell Trubisky um, play, and all I gotta say is I feel bad for Mason Rudolph. We did that man so dirty ever since the Big Ben days. I said on previous shows, but especially on this game where I think every Steelers fan was just like, let's just see what Mason has. Because if Mason is worse than Trubisky, then we'll just throw Trubisky in and be like, okay, we don't have to have this what if, whatever. But Mason stayed, and they put him in on crunch time when we were already down by 2 scores, and it was just embarrassing. Like, I was like, God damn, dude. Like, that, I just felt so bad for Mason there. But he's getting the start this weekend. But I knew the game was over when we had the ball. It would have been a 54-yard field goal. And Boswell, I saw him. He was on the field, ready to kick it. And Tomlin sent Harvin in, our punter, and went to go punt the ball. Basically saying, I don't have trust in my kicker Boswell, who I will die on this hill. Top 5 kicker in the league. That man can hit it, especially in a goddamn dome. We're in a dome. All right, he's got this, and he's ready for it. And if you kick that field goal, it's a 1 possession game. We get a touchdown, we get the lead. Who knows what could happen? But like, it's
Yeah,
plays
that was
like
crazy.
that. It's plays like that energize a team. Like, even if you don't take a lead, but it's something like, all right, let's go, boys. Like, we got this. Like let's get, like, defense. Let's get a stop here now. Like, whatever. But didn't do that. We punt it. Instead, it's like a 22-yard punt because Harvin either bombs one for like 60 or shanks one. So, and we need to get rid of him. There's a lot of people we need to get rid of. But um, yeah, so as far as game, I mean, I can't believe I even thought I believe. Once Mike Tomlin said we're preparing this like a playoff game, I should have known it was going to be an L. But what I really want to talk about is like the sentiment of the leaders calling out people who are not bought in. Because I think a big topic right now in the Steelers world is, well, one, who is Minka talking about? And I think we all know who talking about. Maybe you don't because you're not all up in this Pittsburgh world. But they were talking about wide receivers. I
Yeah,
think
I
he's
was gonna
talking
say
about
Pickens.
George Pickens, and I think he's
Yeah.
talking about Deontay Johnson. Um, George Pickens especially. And I've defended George. I've been a big George guy. I even said trade away Deontay so we could have a Kenny and George. But sometimes there's too many plays that I see on the football field, consistent plays week by week, where you have me lose belief. And where I completely lost belief in George Pickens was when Jalen Warren was running towards the red zone. And Pickens was the only wide receiver there to block. He was basically going to the goal line, and there was one player there. And all he had to do was block, but instead he ran away from the block and allowed the defender to tackle Warren at like the 4-yard line. And he was asked about it. He said, "Why didn't you make the block?" And he said, "I didn't want to get Tank Delled." And so, like, again,
Damn, I did not
as
see that. Wow.
as a
Hmm.
like person, I can understand that. I wouldn't want to get like what was it, ACL injury because of the like the block or whatever. I get that. Like as a person, I get that. But as like that's not as as a person with a job though, like that is your job. You can't be that's not it. That's not winning mentality. When we talk about Mike Tomlin
Team.
saying I need like volunteers, not hostages. George Pickens just admitted that he made a business decision over a team winning decision. And that is I mean, if I know Mike Tomlin, I mean, if anything, he should get benched for first series, first quarter. If I know Mike Tomlin, I know because that shit can't fly, especially what he's saying to the media. And then, but apparently after like the game or whatever, there was some big outburst. The media said that Mike Tomlin and George Pickens had a meeting, and in the same thing where he said I don't want to get tanked out in the same interview, a little later on, he said, "No, we never. Mike Tomlin and I never had a conversation." So
Hmm.
there's like a lot of question marks because I think players aren't balled in, but at the same time, I'm starting to like warm up to the idea that Tomlin ain't got these guys in check because if I would believe that Tomlin would talk to a player, but the player himself, I feel like George Pickens would say, like, yeah, I had a conversation with Tom or whatever. But the fact he's saying, nah, I never did one, I feel like there's no reason for him to lie there. And so it's got me like, yeah, I know George after that off. There's constant plays that I can see. Warren had a fumble earlier against I think it was the Bengals earlier this year. And the ball, he fumbled it, dropped right in front of, actually, no, I think this was Deontay Johnson that happened. But there's been a lot of different plays from both of these players. But I'm talking about George Pickens specifically of just these no effort. Like it's not going to me, so why should I care? And it hurts, but I don't know who to blame because it goes both ways. And
Yeah.
I'm a Tomlin apologist. I'm a pro Tomlin guy, and there are less and less of me by the minute. They are falling away, and I'm maybe just because I'm seeing all the bad juice, I'm drinking, my brain's getting clouded because I'm starting to see that. But I understand it. I mean, it's mediocre. I mean, we lose to the Patriots, we lose to the Cardinals, you lose to the Colts. It's inexcusable. Any other coach will get fired. I mean, we're looking at Bill Belichick right now. Like, what has Tomlin done that Bill Belichick hasn't done since Tom Brady left? Since, looking at whatever. Nothing really, except for positive win records.
Yeah. You said it.
So, yeah, that's my little ramble. I'm confused. I'm confused. I don't want to talk about future because I do want to talk about Mason Rudolph a little bit, but like I was always on this show saying I'm
Yeah.
all pro Mike Tomlin, but I don't know
Yeah.
if we do a clean sweep house, like I don't know how I would feel about that, and that's what worries me. You know, like
Yeah.
I think it's okay to have a feeling of like whatever, but the fact that I feel whatever about it and I'm not strong one way or another makes me think I believe in something I don't want to say out loud.
Yeah.
You know?
100% know where you're coming from. I think it's in the question, but that'd be a big step. I mean, that's a big step.
I will say something though. I've trashed Kenny. I don't think I think we go 2-1 in those stretches if Kenny plays all three of those games.
Yeah,
And
I
that's the
agree.
thing. Like, I'm not big on Kenny or whatever, but I will say one thing I can't knock that man on is he's a winner at the end of the day. I mean, look at the fourth quarter comebacks. I see him in practice. He is full gear in practice. I mean, you could tell he's being extra careful on that ankle, but he is trying his best to get out there because he knows we need him. and it's so sad that we need Kenny Pickett. But like, I don't know, not turning the ball over does wonders. If he could just, find that click, get rid of the predictability of throwing it on the outside, use the middle of the field. You get that with the Birds talk. Steelers could be different, but to end my big old Steelers ramble,
Yeah.
I see a lot of
Hey.
the same frustrations that the Birds fans have. Same with this. That's exactly how I feel. It's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
And your
Must
linebackers are
be
trash. So are mine.
must be a PA thing.
Oh,
Like
dude, I think the
Penn State's like the same way.
PA football teams are sorry, professional teams. So Steelers and Eagles, I'm pretty sure we're winless in December.
December. Yeah. Yep.
Except you have at least more impressive losses. We have
Sure.
Patriots, Cardinals, Colts. Like you
Sure.
guys have
Yeah.
what? You guys have what? Niners,
More respectable. Cowboys and
Cowboys.
Seahawks.
Yeah, like those are all potential playoff teams, two
And
Super Bowl
Dallas and
potential teams.
Seattle. Well, yeah. Yeah. Hey, you got your Christmas wish came true though. Mason Rudolph. He might go down in history if he can whip up some Christmas magic for the Steelers.
Yeah, Christmas
Keep the
Eve
playoff
Eve.
hopes alive.
We
Yeah,
got this.
Christmas
We got
Eve.
this. We got the Saturday game, but Rudolph, the backup QB,
Had
had a
a
little
bump
shiny
on
nose.
his head.
I have to
Thanks to
look.
Myles Garrett.
Steelers Twitter already made like different variations of the song, but
Did they?
um, dude, I'm all about it, man. Give him a shot because what like we've seen Mitch. Mitch is terrible. Like that's the one thing. Like um, that one ball that he had to George Pickens where he just sailed it way over his head and basically into the safety's lap. I was like, but like that's when I'm like, I can understand your frustration, George. But at the same time, like you got to think about like Minka. Like Minka was in those Dolphin days, like Ronnie Tannehill. Like before, like Dolphins were trash. Like we're talking like a couple years post, like Richie Incognito when I was like
Yeah.
nobody want to be in Miami, and Minka was going up in that, and he earned his stripes, and then eventually the Steelers saved him. But like you got to earn them. Like you can't just be coming in thinking you're the top dog. And we'll see. There's a lot that I expect Tomlin to do to end this season. I don't give a fuck about the record. Like I don't like I just don't want to see bad losses, which is what we just saw. Like if you're gonna lose a game, go out there fucking swinging. Like
Yeah. Fight.
believe in your boys. Don't be conservative. Like fuck all that, man. Like this is
Yeah.
be warriors.
This is football. Like if
Yeah.
you lose, you lose. You get a better draft pick, but like freaking don't suck. Like that's the
Yeah.
thing with the Eagles. Not just suck. They aren't living up to their potential. Just like coming up short.
Yeah.
Just sucking, man.
Yeah.
Stop sucking. Stop sucking, man. Eagles have the Giants this week, so they have a good chance to get their first win in December. But I'm not gonna essentially chew it
Bro,
in. Who
I
do the Steelers?
need it. I need it.
Um,
I need it for the
is it
fantasy,
the
bro.
Rams? Am I tripping? Is it the Rams? Who do they
No,
play?
we play the Bungles, bro.
Oh, the Bengals. Why did I say the Rams? Yeah,
We play the
Rams
Bungles.
play. Rams play on Thursday night. I think that's why.
We play 4:30 against the Bungles. Um, can't believe there's
Hmm.
a Thursday game too.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, it is the Rams. It is the Rams and the Saints. Kind of that's a weird one. Very weird one. Get to end the year. Jets Browns. Wow. I think that's a very fitting end to TNF, honestly.
Wow.